hoy tenemos con nosotros a una artista muy interesante, estudió en New England Conservatory, y quiero dar la bienvenida, por supuesto, a los estudios a Sarah Charnes. Sarah, good morning.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Sarah, first off, I love the video we just watched.
Oh, thank you
You
so
just seem
much.
like a model playing violin in the middle of it. I loved it on the runway. When was that?
Oh my gosh, except I'm about 5 foot shorter. 5 feet
like
shorter
it,
than
well,
all of
you
these
get to do
models, which is so crazy. Yeah, so the show that you saw was, of course, during Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. It was a show that was for Eleni Cassis, one of the designers that was showing at that point in Fashion Week, and she just said, "You want to come open the show?" And I said, "Absolutely, of course. Why not?"
Pues Sarah me dice que se fue en Fashion Week en New York. La diseñadora Eileen Gattuso le pidió que por favor que fuera a abrir el show. Ella sinceramente fue con su violín y empezó a tocar el violín mientras caminaba en la pasarela. Se veía preciosa y estaba muy contenta de ser elegida para ese evento. Sarah, now how do we get into this? At what point do you wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to play the violin for the rest of my life?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's actually a bit of a revolution. It didn't start out like this. Of course, you don't wake up at the age of 4 and want this. Or maybe you do, but you don't know how to say that you want this. So I think the big thing is I started when I was about 4 years old on Suzuki Violin, which you find everywhere. I mean, it's a program that a lot of young musicians, especially young children, use to learn violin, and it's a very popular method. And I started off completely classical up until I was about 16 years old. And when I was 16, a guy named Mark Wood, who is actually the designer of this violin, they can see it on the thing, came to my music camp and showed me these crazy electric violins.
So, Sarah me dice, le pregunto a Sarah que cómo fue que empezó a tocar el violín, que qué día fue que se levantó a decir, hey, hoy I'm playing the violin. Y lo que me dice es que empezó con 4 años con un violín pequeñito que se llama Suzuki, que en ese momento estaba jugando con él, y que a medida que fue creciendo conoció a James Wood, que fue el que le hizo ese violín de esa marca, y de ahí empezó a enamorarse de lo que es este instrumento musical.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sarah.
So no, that's basically the story. And I had no idea at that point that you could play anything else but classical music on a violin. I had no idea that anything else was possible. I thought, okay, that's what I'm told to do, so that's what I do. But I didn't realize that you could play rock and roll, you could play house music. And that's sort of been my discovery over the last 10 years, is just what kind of other genres are out there.
Pues me dice algo muy interesante, me está diciendo que ella en realidad cuando empezó con el violín se imaginaba que solamente era para tocar música clásica, y cuando se dio cuenta que podía tocar cualquier tipo de música, era rock, jazz, lo que quería lo podía hacer con su violín eléctrico, y le cambió el mundo completamente. When did you start performing for audiences?
Oh my gosh, I was about 4 years old, not even kidding.
Wow.
Right after we started, my family was all musicians in my family, and we did concerts together. And from that point, I was really brought onto stage when I was really a young kid, and that I think was really helpful because I was always at home on stage. Some people get really, really nervous, and I completely understand that. Sometimes I do as well. But for the most part, I was really at home performing, and that made it easier, definitely, as an adult, having done it as a kid.
Pues me dice Sarah que tiene 4 años, está tocando para personas. Dice que desde pequeña en su familia todo el mundo era músico y que siempre la pasión la ha tenido por dentro, y por lo tanto nunca se ha sentido con pena en tocar en un estadio ni nada así. Al contrario, se siente muy cómoda, es algo que disfruta hacer muchísimo. And Sarah, now, what's been one of the biggest events that you've been part of, or at least one of those that personally have impacted you?
I think personally the 2 biggest ones I've ever done, I wouldn't say the biggest, but the 2 biggest were opening for the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. It was a really, really cool experience just because it was, where I live now, in being New York City, surrounded by fans and surrounded by New Yorkers, and just really feeling at home in one of the most monumental buildings in New York. Madison Square Garden is the home of just so many amazing musicians have played there, and it was really, really cool to stand up and be there. So I have to say that was probably one of the biggest things I've done so far.
Pues le pregunto a Sara que qué fue lo que ha hecho hasta ahora que le ha impactado como música y como persona, y me dice que fue, por supuesto, a tocar donde juegan los Knicks en el Madison Garden, donde por supuesto tocó el anthem de los Knicks, y ahí estuvo. Dice que fue un momento que en realidad le marcó la vida y que disfrutó muchísimo, más que nada porque es un lugar en el cual muchos artistas famosos que ella sigue como ídolos han tocado y han sido parte de ese evento. Now, Sarah, what are we looking for in the next 5 years? Where do you want to be?
Okay, so what do we want? It's always the
I
question that everyone asks.
I know you want to be everywhere and whatnot.
Well, I don't know, but I think what I want to do with this is I want to mainstream this.
Yeah.
I want this to be in the music that we hear today, and so far actually been a really cool thing. I'm starting to work more with DJs. I have a DJ that I'm working with now that we're releasing our first single with, and his name is Serge, and it's going to be a Serge and Sarah single. So it's really, you know, the arrival of dance music and house pop music has really given instrumentalists a huge platform to play, because there's so much of it is instrumental.
So, me está diciendo que es muy interesante, dice que en estos momentos está trabajando con un DJ que va a hacer un single en los próximos meses donde va a tocar el violín, que lo interesante es que con el violín puede tocar house music, puede tocar techno music, y esto es algo que a ella le gustaría implementar en su carrera y ver en un futuro crecer, porque es algo que disfruta muchísimo y que en realidad es muy interesante y me parece que nos va a gustar mucho.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, when are you playing in Boston?
When are we playing Boston? Likely in the fall. We don't have a set date yet,
Okay.
but we'll be very vocal about letting people know when we're going to be here. I'm also with a band, Pants Velour, and we often do come to, we're really a Northeast band. It's a band that was started in Cornell and has moved to New York City, and you know, many of the members are from the Boston, DC, New York area. So we try and make the rounds in the Northeast. So we will definitely, I'm sure, be here in the fall. We do at least one show a year here.
Pues me está diciendo que puede ser que en el otoño que esté por acá tocando con su banda que creó en Cornell y que siempre están por todo el Northeast de Estados Unidos, y que definitivamente puede ser que esté acá en el otoño. Cuando tengamos más información sobre eso, se lo daremos. Sarah, for those kids who grow up and looking at you right now, you know, they want to play the violin, what can you say to them?
It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of work. Just persevere 100%. Don't give up. Practice a lot because it's really worth it. Listen to your parents, they're probably right, even if you don't think they are at the time. And just enjoy yourselves. Music is supposed to be fun, you're supposed to love it, and you know, if you love what you're doing, then you're going to be successful at it.
Pues le pregunto a Sara que para aquellos pequeñitos que estamos en casa, que queremos tocar violín, que es un buen consejo para nosotros, nos está diciendo que estudien, que lo repasen muchísimo, que escuchen a sus padres y que le presten mucha atención, pero más que todo, que estudien y que de verdad le pongan tiempo, porque es algo que necesita tiempo y mucho repaso. I'm telling them they need to learn, study a lot, and play over and over again and listen to your parents.
Definitely.
Sarah, for more information about you, where can we go?
You can find me in a few places. My website is www.sarahcharnas.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Facebook.com/Sarah Charnas, and you can of course follow me on Twitter at Sarah Charnas.
Pues lo podemos encontrar en sarahcharnas.com. Si quieren saber más información, me lo pueden llamar a mí al 617-379-0111, donde yo les daré toda la información para que puedan saber mucho más de Sarah Charnas. Ahí tienen en pantalla la información. No duden en preguntarme cualquier cosa de esta niña tan interesante en música y súper talentosa. Gracias, Dimas, por las imágenes. Sarah, anything else you want to say before we go?
I think just enjoy yourself, have fun, and turn on the radio and support all of the artists out there.
Pues ahora me dice que disfruten, que apoyen a todos los artistas locales y que escuchen mucha música. Y ahora, Sarah, before we go, we're going to go with the video we were watching earlier on.
Sure.
So we can leave it with style. Thank you very much, Sarah. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. Y ustedes, veamos el video.